Welcome back to Philippines Uncut. Tonight's topic is e-commerce trends and opportunities. And joining us still is Janet Terrell, e-commerce advocate. And joining her is her former student, Nikki Roldan, and she is with Save and Earn Wireless. Welcome, Nikki, to Philippines Uncut. And of course, welcome, Janet, to our second segment. Now, tell us a bit about your relationship. You were once a student of Janet.
Yes. I met Miss Janet last year when we started our e-commerce entrepreneurship course. That was around January. And then we graduated around Feb this year. So that was about 1 year and a month of parang mentorship from Miss Janet. So over that period, we got to meet other students like CGM, and I also got to meet other people in the e-commerce industry, like for logistics and all of that. So it was truly a very enriching experience.
It's a 1 year course, you said?
Yeah.
And does it cover the entire range of topics when it comes to e-commerce?
More or less. We try to cover as much as we can. But of course, you only see the real thing once you're in action.
So basically, if people take your course, like Nikki here, you can already, you're armed with the knowledge to start an e-commerce business, or maybe...
That is the deliverable.
Yes. Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So part of the deliverable of Janet's course is you have to apply this to your own business or start an e-commerce business.
Yes. Start an e-commerce business or have an existing business but launch it as e-commerce.
Great. Let's talk about your business, Save and Earn Wireless. Tell us a little bit about your family business, right?
Yeah. Fabulous. So Save and Earn Wireless is actually a gadget retail shop, and we're based in Visayas. So our branches are in Cebu, Bohol, Dumaguete, Bacolod area. And last year, as it was part of the deliverable also, we started our own e-commerce shop.
Okay.
So that was late last year. And then now we're online. It's under saveandearn.com.ph. And we've been selling gadgets online ever since. We do COD nationwide. Sorry, that's cash on delivery nationwide. And we also use our online platform to communicate with our customers. So it's interesting because you get to do this with your existing customers,
yes,
and you get new customers as well, even customers not from our area. So
unlike before with your 40 bricks and mortar outlets, it really was servicing just that community or the local communities, no?
Yeah.
And now you do sales and you send goods. Luzon, Mindanao, and
Luzon, even as far as Butuan, we delivered items there. So it's actually very interesting because with retail, it's very challenging right now with retail because your overhead is getting higher and higher every month. Rent, especially if you go to the big malls like SM, it's quite expensive.
And in your field is pretty tight, because there's so many people selling, gadgets and things like that.
Yeah,
so your parents started this business, as you mentioned, 20 years ago. So your parents started this business. When did you guys realize that you wanted to get into e-commerce? When did it dawn on you that this could be the next step, that we should get into it?
We decided actually around 3 years ago to get into e-commerce, but we didn't. The first attempt was, I would say, it was quite unsuccessful.
Okay.
And it was only last year that we really got to launch our e-commerce site. So as I said, it's very challenging, especially for startups or maybe small and medium enterprises, because sometimes you just don't know where to start. Yeah.
Okay. Now you mentioned 2 years ago you tried to launch it, but it wasn't too successful. What was the problem, and how did you get over that?
The problem really was development. We couldn't even get the site online because we were really stuck in development. Because as you well know, I don't really have a background in web development. I don't have a background in coding or programming. So
likewise,
everything was just all we had was the internet, and we couldn't really ask anyone for advice. Everyone is giving us different advice and different quotations. So.
And there are a lot of experts, right? There are in web design, and you have SEO, you've got all these different experts. But and I guess I can relate to your problem because where do you start, right, Janet? So thankfully that you have this school that you can help people who want to learn more about how to start their own business, no? Yeah.
I think what happened then was because because they did some preliminary work already, so it was just about putting the site live. I think the challenge also with clients is that sometimes they have a long wish list. So you ideally you should go for the minimum viable
Sure.
product. So that was the objective. We go for the minimum viable just to make the site go live and be operational. And then along the way, you start adding the other bits and pieces. And I think once an entrepreneur puts a website online, the next stage is to stabilize the website. Because, of course, you do your own testing. It appears to work. But the moment you start getting orders, the moment traffic starts coming in, that's when you realize, we don't have enough memory. There's a problem here, there's a problem there. So that's where you go for stabilizing. That's where finding people, among others. And I guess that's there's also reason, or there's also logic in terms of starting slow but surely.
Yes,
I mean, imagine if they really went full steam and then all of a sudden their site starts crashing. It's not gonna look good at them.
So 2 years ago, it didn't work, but then you went to Janet's class. You were a student in this course, and then that's when you really got to know the ins and outs.
Yes.
As you said, when you were starting, you didn't know where to begin.
Yeah.
No?
We didn't know what SEO meant. We didn't know
Not many people do.
Yeah.
Okay.
We didn't know how do you market this, or like, because when you put up a site, you can't expect people to come in or check out your site.
Sure. It's not like your stores where you have the foot traffic of people coming in the malls. They know in SM, for instance, they know where the gadget place is. They all go there.
Yes.
But how do you draw, like in your case, how do you draw people to your site to save and
Right
earn?
now,
Yeah.
we use Facebook, really. As you well know, social media right now, there's a very, very high penetration rate for social media in the Philippines, especially since a lot of networks are offering free Facebook right now. So in our experience, when we built the site and we marketed it, we got a lot of hits really from Facebook. Yeah, there were a lot of people sharing, a lot of people clicking, going towards, clicking and converting later on to the site.
Okay.
Yeah.
How busy are you with your online, with your e-commerce? I mean, like, what percentage would it be of your business? I mean, would it still be, I mean, of course,
Right now.
yeah, your bricks and mortar, I assume, are still the majority of the operations, no?
Yeah.
But how much is taken up by e-commerce, would you say?
I would still, definitely at this point, I would say it's still around 10%,
Okay,
or
wow,
less than that.
wow.
Because really, brick and mortar, we really started with brick and mortar, so that's the established part of the business. Now with e-commerce, it was quite a challenge because it wasn't just putting up a site. We had to convince everyone in the company or in the team that this is the way to go. Because it's not just about selling online, it's actually about taking your customer experience 24/7, taking your customer experience in such a way that people can reach you anytime. Yeah, because when you go to a mall, the buying experience for gadgets is somewhat like you go to SM and then you go to the cyber zone area, and when you're there are so many stores
Absolutely,
lined up.
like 20 or whatever, no?
And you don't know where to start. And so you just start going to each one of those stores.
Canvassing and things like that, yeah.
Canvassing and
Yeah.
asking, what's your promo today? What's your promo? And that was one of our challenges also, especially if you're a multi-store operations. Getting the inventories out, because every store, every area where the store is located, it's quite unique. Iba-iba
Sure.
yung mga brands that are parang well known in that area.
Based on the demographic as well and things,
Yes.
for sure. Okay.
So parang getting together all these items was also, e-commerce was also a way for us to put together all these items in such a way na nagiging available na siya sa lahat,
Yes.
nationwide. So our peg that time was, if you're familiar with Target in the
Yes,
US,
yes,
yeah.
Target, yeah.
So Target started out with a multi-branch big department stores, and they also have an e-commerce leg. So they offer their products in e-commerce. They offer special products in e-commerce that are not even in their stores, and you can pick it up at any Target store. Any Target store of your choice.
Do you have
That
that
was the
same model with your Save and Earn? Like you deliver and you also pick up in your
The
stores, yeah?
When we started out, yes, we did that model. Like we have COD nationwide, and then we also had branch pickup. Currently, though, we put it on hold because, like Ms. Janet said, going on that scale is really difficult. So we started out with deliveries muna, but the goal is to offer that.
Yeah, which leads
Yeah.
me to my next question. How did you synchronize? And because for 20 years you've had this bricks and mortar company, 40 branches. How do you synchronize now this new concept of e-commerce, where obviously you have more a different logistical requirements, different payment, online payment schemes, etc. etc. How did you manage to make them work together side by side? Was it
Along
difficult?
with the operations.
Yeah, along with your regular operations, no?
I would say, yeah, it's very difficult because the processes are different.
Absolutely, yeah.
It's
Yeah.
different. And the idea of the way you approach customers is also different. The way you market is different. So what we did, we really had to create a team to focus on this. But the team should not be separate from your retail operations. They should work hand in hand because if you want to go omni-channel, you really have to have your retail team work along with your online team to create this seamless customer experience where people can buy online or people can have their items picked up, or even reaching such a point na later on, hopefully, that you can even return your items to the store but you bought it online. Oh, yung ganun. So you have one database. Oh, so it shouldn't be separate.
What do you guys offer? Because as you know, there are a lot of online retailers now for gadgets and things like that. What makes your experience different? Why would people go to your store, your online platform, not someone else's? What do you offer?
Well, one thing we noticed with gadgets, unlike other items being sold on like clothes, for example, well, if you're really a serious gadget buyer, you'd probably buy a unit that's around 3,000 and up, going up to 40,000. One of your hesitations probably to buy it online would be you're scared that if you pay, you might not get the item.
Yes.
Yes, that's one of the fears that we find in our market today. So, and also, what if you get the item, but there's something wrong with it?
How do you return it?
How do you return
Yeah.
it, or where do you run to? So that's quite a common problem actually. That's why some people, even though they're buying all these things online, with gadgets, some are still iffy.
Yes,
to
yes.
start that.
Actually, I bought my phone from them.
Online?
My Note phone last year. But I was in Cebu. I realized that I need a new phone because I was preparing for a new training, that I needed an Android device. And I was shopping on their website, and then I realized that, okay, but I think I want to get it right away. So I decided, I look at the site, and then I called to ask if it's available in store. So I went to the store, and I think another difference there is that you can perform the deferred payment plan when you are in the store, which you cannot just easily do if you are online.
Yes. How fast do you deliver, Nikki?
Siguro around 5 days. That's maximum already.
Really?
Yeah, 3 to
Okay.
5 days.
Okay.
So, but for branch pickup, ideally, once we have that on, we want the item to be available on the same day.
On the same day.
So
Wow.
you can
Okay.
pick it up the same. That's really the goal. So, like what Miss Janet said, we want our stores to work seamlessly online because that's a problem, right? Sometimes you come into a store and it's not available. The product you want isn't available. So
With online, with e-commerce platform, you can't have that. It has to be on demand,
have that,
right?
yeah.
You have to have the
or you can
product.
see what's there
Yes.
in the outlet.
Yes.
So that's quite an interesting concept, especially since omni-channel. Actually we learned about that term just last year when we took the course. But when we found that model, we were just we thought, yeah, this is definitely the way to go for us.
Now, you've just launched, right, your e-commerce portal. Are you happy with how it's progressed since then? I mean, how much has it grown? What is the growth of your activity?
I would say that when we really started, we were very overwhelmed because we didn't know how to get customers into our site. That was the first problem. But later on, with the help of the other students and Miss Janet, and also we tinkered with Facebook marketing, we finally got people into our site. And especially if you have like special products or special promotions, like we had that my 28 promotion
Yes,
last year,
yes.
and we had a 50% off sale. It did pretty well, yeah. So I would say about 50 orders a week.
Well,
Yeah,
not
yeah.
bad. What do you think, Janet? I mean, is that it's not bad for a
Yeah.
For a new player
if you
and
get
getting into
10
it?
orders a day, why not?
Yeah, and 50 orders a week, huh?
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Especially you don't want to you don't want to scale so fast because you have to manage also your refund, your returns. So you really want to stabilize the operation. So these are all I would say the first year is a dry run, because you really get to become familiar with how everything is going to operate.
Are there problems like that when some startups have gone too fast, only to realize that they can't catch up with regard to operations, with all the other things you mentioned, like refunds, returns, and logistics and all that?
Not delivering the product
Yeah.
on time, no? Or sometimes there are damages, and then people start ranting on social media. And I mean, if you're starting, the main commodity that you have also is your reputation. Reputation is very delicate for a small player, so you don't want to take chances with your reputation that early.
Yes, because the moment someone has a bad experience, right, with your e-commerce portal, then it spreads, no, and then right.
It even turns off our existing customers.
Yes.
So we really have to be very careful about the experience and like what Miss Janice said, because that was when we wanted to start like 2 years ago. The idea was to go big, and then to go big. So, but when we started it like this year, it was a dry run and everything. There were so many concerns. Yeah, we realized there were so many concerns that we didn't even expect last year when we were doing the business plan.
I guess that's a natural desire, no, for people wanting. Parang you have all this hype about this online, all these online opportunities, and then people want, like you said in your case, people want to start big, without thinking that perhaps you should take it slow, as you suggested, and let just let the system, all the systems fall into place and everything work.
But of course, when you're
work
planning,
well.
you plan for big numbers.
Yes,
I mean, when you're planning,
Of course.
you're imagining that, I think I want to plan for 100 orders a day. That's not bad. But of course, when things start become operational, that's where you realize up to how many can you only accept. Because even if you get 100 orders a day, you don't have inventory. And you wait for them to be shipped inside the country, it's going to be a problem, especially if you're holding on to other people's money.
Yes.
So, but I guess they can scale anytime they want also. But since they are also a traditional company, if they have resources, it's also a decision where, okay, we have this much budget, how much are we going to put to digital?
That's true. That's
Well,
always a challenge.
ladies, we have to pause for a break, but when you come back, one of your classmates and one of your former students, he's also involved in e-commerce, but in the food side, very challenging part of e-commerce, is going to join us and talk about how his business naman is working, and we're going to talk about the differences between yours and his business, and finally we'll also talk about what kind of advice you can give to viewers now who have businesses and are thinking of going on the e-commerce way. So guys, stick around because more of e-commerce opportunities and trends when Philippines Uncut returns.